जीवन ट्रस्ट का हम लोग एक सीरीज शुरू कर रहे हैं क्योंकि दिस जून मंथ is a month where we celebrate the global albinism awareness month, and we are hoping to do one seminar on every Saturday at 4 p.m. So starting this series with a very interesting seminar, we have with us Miss Urjita Deshpande from Mumbai, and she's a clinical psychologist with 15 years of experience, and she's been a trainer also, behavioral skills trainer for last 15 years. She has expertise in behavioral training, psychometric testing, handwriting analysis, and psychological counseling. She is associated with various corporate cross industry verticals. So welcome, Ms. Urjita, and we hope to have a very good session for technical inquiries and technical how this workshop is working, because this is also my first time on Zoom app. So I will hand over the screen and the setup to Ms. Ishita Unadkar from UK. She is one of our volunteers, and she has kindly agreed to set up the whole conference for us. So Ishita, you can take over.
Okay. Sorry, Urjita, could we go back to the slides?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Hello, everyone. This is Ishita, and welcome to today's session. What I'm going to do is just quickly go through how this session is going to work, and then Anubhav can take over. Just for a smooth flow of the webinar, I would appreciate it if everyone could mute themselves. We will be recording today's session, so whoever has missed this session or you want to revisit, a link will be shared out so you can go through it. Another thing, that if you have any questions or comments as the webinar is progressing, we have a chat box. So please leave a message, your questions, some comments out there. One of us will be monitoring it, and we will be able to either answer the question on the chat box or at the end of the session, where we will have a question answer session, which will be moderated by Priyanka. You can raise your hand and we will let you speak. So we will unmute you and you can ask your question, and Urjita can answer as it goes. So today's session will begin with a little bit of an introduction about Anubhav and his work with the Jeevan Trust. And then Ms. Urjita Deshpande will be going through the whole concept of self-acceptance for parents of children with albinism, as well as adults with albinism, followed by a question answer session moderated by Priyanka Heda. Lastly, we will give the vote of thanks. So Anubhav, take over.
Yes, so I am Anubhav Gupta, and as you all know that we've been working under Jeevan Trust for the past 10 years. I've got a lovely team in Delhi, without which this work has not been possible. Sameer Garg, Mr. Deepak Ratanji, and now Ishita Unadkar has joined us from Pune and London both, and Priyanka Heda and Twinkle also is one of our volunteers. So, I mean, this work has been possible because of the volunteers. We have largely an online presence on Facebook with the name of Albinism India Group. And over the last 10 years, we have made over 700 members, which roughly covers to a population of around 30 to 40 lakhs. We hope to, we wish to include many thousand members more, so that more and more people can benefit just by connecting with each other, and also sharing thoughts, inputs, scientific information, medical news, and building more personal connections. So that's a brief of our work. And so feel free to connect with me anytime for any of the queries at any level, and I'll be happy to resolve or connect you to the relevant persons thereon. And Urjita ji, please welcome to the group and session. We are very glad to have you here. And starting the series of webinars with you is also a pleasure for us.
Thank you so
Best,
much.
best of luck. I really wish you best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vishada, and thank you, Priyanka, and welcome all of your lovely people. And I'm more than excited to talk about this whole concept of self-acceptance because, today I'm going to share my own story. And as the logo goes, made to shine. Yes, we are actually made to shine, but I don't know what goes wrong with us and our thinking process that we are just not able to do that. Anyways, when we talk about this self-acceptance, I'm sure we have heard this concept a lot of times. Intellectually, we know about this concept. We know that we have to, accept ourselves. Suppose if I have to ask you this question that, what is more important? Accepting yourself is more important or people accepting you is more important? I'm sure majority of would, give me this answer that accepting yourself is more important. But then someone would also feel that no, accepting yourself is important, but acceptance of other person is also very important, right? So now today we are going to actually see what is more important, right? So when we talk about true self-acceptance, so as the definition or as what, the whole concept of what describes is that you have to completely accept yourself, embrace who you are with whatever limitations, with whatever problems and faults and whatever qualifications, everything. You just need to accept yourself, whatever is. Now, at times it becomes very easy for us to accept the good things in us, right? So suppose if I'm doing some good job, or if I have some good habit, or if I have certain good conditions in my life, it becomes very easy for me to accept those. But the moment there are some challenges, maybe it can be challenges regarding my body or challenges regarding certain experiences in my life or situations or anything, suddenly the problem of self-acceptance starts happening. So today we are going to completely talk about the self-acceptance and how to do it. Because as I said, intellectually we all understand कि self-acceptance करना चाहिए, लेकिन वो कैसे करें? I guess, I'm sure majority of you might be having this problem. Even I used to have that problem. But I have figured out, so that is why I really love this sentence, which says that self-acceptance is not a automatic or a default state. It is definitely not. We were definitely born with it. We were born with an automatic and default state of self-acceptance. If you watch the small babies, they are so much in love with themselves. They are just, smiling all the time, how much ever unkept they are, they have their tummies falling, big tummies, and whatever, they have not changed their clothes, they have not brushed their teeth, they have not combed their hair. But still, if they look into the mirror, you will find that they are so much in love with themselves. So we were all born with acceptance, complete acceptance. Even if they would do some, shushu potty, they were so happy to look at their own dirt, right? And we were all too. But then slowly, I guess, as we started growing up, people around us or society started defining us. They started defining us in terms of, this is good, this is bad. See, you have this, but you don't have this. You are good in this, but you are bad in that. You shouldn't be this way. Eat less, otherwise, you will become fat. Or do this, otherwise you'll be called like this. Why don't you behave like her? So suddenly there were a lot of comparisons, lot of do's and don'ts, and somehow we shaped up in such a way that we started rejecting certain aspects in us, and we started accepting certain aspects in us. And the moment there is rejection of self, it can be any part of that self, then this is where our suffering actually starts happening. And then it is no more an automatic or a default state. We actually now have to work really hard so that that self-acceptance becomes an automatic and a default state once again. Because the thing is that if you're born with it, you can reach that. So there's an absolute good news for all of us that if we are born with this automatic and a default state of self-acceptance, we can always be there. So how is the journey to be there? So to explain you this journey, I would really like to share my own story. maybe I don't have albinism, but yes, society defines, a lot of people into this is right and this is wrong. So there are a lot of people who come into the category of normal, but then there are a lot of people who are considered to be, a little bit not normal. Like, I used to be a very chubby child. As a child, I was very chubby, or, a little bit hefty, not obese, but then hefty. But then what happened was I grew up with a lot of, bullying, a lot of teasing. People used to tease me. Now, suddenly I realized that I'm going into a shell. I was just not able to love myself. I used to avoid functions. I used to avoid family functions. I used to avoid going in picnics or whatever, because every time I had this, low self-esteem that people are making fun of me. They are teasing me. They're, just trying to neglect me. They're rejecting me. They're criticizing me. Maybe I was emotionally weak. See, what happens is when you have certain problems in your life, it becomes a very huge issue for us. So maybe, as I said, maybe my problem was not that big enough, but whatever it was very big for me. Maybe the reason was that I was not emotionally strong to accept what was coming my way. Now, what happened was that my mother always used to tell me, no, bacha, you're a very beautiful child. You're very nice, But then I used to always tell her, no, mom, you're my mom. That's why you say that. But see, my friends call me ugly. They call me fat, they call me moti, jadi, whatever. And it used to be really very humiliating. I grew up hating myself. In my college days, also, I used to, hate myself. In fact, looking at my condition, my mother decided, just let me put her for some personality courses, because, I was really going in my own shell. And I still remember in that personality class that I had joined, so that a trainer of ours just asked us to write, what are the things that you reject about yourself? Okay, it can be different areas or whatever. What are the things that you do not accept about yourself? And I remember writing everything right from my hair to my toes. I wrote everything, that I don't like my nails, I don't like the body, I don't like this, I don't like this. And when I actually read that list, I was shocked. And so was my trainer, and so was my mother. And we three were speechless, and I couldn't understand from where so much of, lack of self-acceptance has come. Why do I hate myself so much? Thankfully, I had chosen psychology as my topic of, graduation. As in how I started, that was the, I guess, the eye opener for me, that I need to do something about it. I just cannot live like this, hating myself. Psychology course definitely helped me, because as I was reading about human minds, about why they behave the way they behave, I guess it started healing me. Now, what happened was, the few things that actually helped me to accept myself, I would like to share over here. Actually, self-acceptance is a very huge topic. It's a very, very huge topic. There are different ways of how you can heal yourself or come to that, place of accepting yourself. But the things that have healed me, I would like to share it over here. So those are very few and important according to me, because it has something to do with our body, right? So one thing is, I realized that we have to really understand people. Why it's definitely needed to understand people, because what happens is, how much ever I might, as I said, intellectually we have understood that we have to accept ourselves. So maybe we start with auto-suggestion. I love myself, I'm confident, I can do this, I am good, I am worthy, everything. So that was the thing that I used to do, that I used to just tell myself that, no, I'm good enough, I'm worthy, this, blah, blah, blah. And the moment somebody would pass some certain comment, and there I am, all shattered. So I realized that we give lot of importance to what people say about us, and anything that they say unpleasant to us, and it leaves us absolutely, hurt and bleeding. So that is where I started realizing that, let me look at it from their point of view. And then I realized that every person is going through some or the other emotional pain, or some or the emotional suffering. And a person who's suffering can give only suffering to others, is what I majorly realized. It's like lime. Lime juice is only going to come out of lime. You cannot expect a mango juice coming out of a lime, right? So that is why I understood that this is such a major important point, that people who actually are rude to you, people who make fun of you, people who hurt you, people who criticize you, are actually the people in pain. Now, what happens is कि when you are in pain or if you have some physical injury, which we can see, right? So it becomes easy for us to identify कि, oh, this person is having, is injured and that's the reason he's walking like this, or that's the reason, he is, keeping his hand like this or whatever, just because we can see. Now, what happens is with regard to the emotional injuries, we are not able to see it. From outside, when a person walks into your room, you will just not able to realize that that person is actually in pain. And this is where the major drawback is. The pain comes out in the form of pain, that they give you pain. So the moment they are angry with you, the moment they say something negative, they say something which is rude, is the indication that these people are in pain. Every person has some or the other suffering for which we are just not aware of it. The other day, I was just listening to the interview taken by one person, Lata Mangeshkar ka interview ho raha tha. And in that interview, we asked her, that I'm sure that in your next life, you would want to be Lata Mangeshkar again, isn't it? And she said, no. Lata Mangeshkar is the last person I would want to be again. So that person was really shocked. He said, why so? And then her answer was, because only Lata Mangeshkar knows the pain of being Lata Mangeshkar. So today we might think of her as one of the most successful person, the most famous person that every person knows about her. She's the most humble kind of a person, but still look at her, she has some pain. But not everybody is mature enough to keep their pain to themselves. Okay, there are people who will just give you that pain. And that completely has to do with the maturity. Have you observed that at times when you are in pain, any kind of a physical pain, on that day you are going to behave a little bit cranky, you are going to snap at people. It's very natural. The days that you're going to be happy, you are not going to hurt people. So the logic that I realized, or the studies of psychology that made me understand is why I shouldn't depend on what people say to me, because whatever they say to me, if it is bitter, it means they have bitterness inside. So all they can give me is bitterness. Then why should I take it? Why should I absorb it? Secondly, if people are behaving that way, maybe it's, if they are in the wrong mood. So why should I disturb my life because of their wrong moods? And that was one of the biggest parameter, I can say, that helped me to understand that, okay, now can I just, not be affected by them? Because you will see there are certain people who criticize or who make fun all the time. If you just observe their life closely, you will realize that yes, those people are having some problems in their life. They are upset, they are frustrated about certain parameters. Now, what is this emotional pain about? Why are they in emotional pain? The reasons can be many. Okay, the reason can be they are facing some financial crisis, or they are having some relationship issues, or they might be simply jealous kind of a people, or they are moody kind of people, or they are simply saddest kind of people. You just don't know why they are the way they are. But the point is, people who give us pain are in pain. So now we have to take the decision, or we have to now decide, should I be now affected by their pain? Because those are the people who can give only pain. So the thing is that either we become so strong enough that it should not affect us, or we should simply, social distancing. Now, this is a very common terminology that we are learning or listening or even following, that just maintain that social distancing, because this is one of the biggest parameter that is there. Because as I said, how much ever you're going to try accepting yourself and giving yourself positive auto suggestions, but still, when somebody says something, it is definitely going to affect us. Another thing that I realized is, do not be shy to accept your limitations. Okay, because as I said, many a times it is our complexes that will motivate us to not join a group, not tell them about our limitations, because we are scared, or we have this fear that they will laugh at us or they will criticize us. But remember, the more you are shy of your own limitations, the more you are going to be in the suffering. There is one more logic, which I have understood in my journey of self-acceptance, unless and until you do not hurt yourself, people cannot hurt you. I repeat, unless and until you do not hurt yourself, people cannot hurt you. It is something like that when we don't accept ourselves or when we criticize ourselves, it is something that we are injuring yourself. If we are injuring ourselves, we are creating wounds to ourselves. Now, the person who's walking on the road can simply pass a comment, and that's sufficient to help me bleed over here. But why today I am in so much of pain? Because I have already given myself that much of pain. Just to explain you this concept, I'll give you one more example. Suppose, there's a person X who is completely okay about his financial status. Maybe he is not very rich or not very affluent, but whatever he is, he has absolutely no issues with whatever is his financial situation. He might be an absolutely normal finance person, but he has no grudges or he has no dissatisfaction about his financial conditions. Now, to such kind of a person who has completely accepted his financial status, if somebody comes and just passes on some kind of a rude comment over his financial status, believe me, this person is not going to feel bad. He can simply just let it go. Now, why he is able to let it go? It is because he has not injured himself by giving wrong or critical suggestions to himself about his financial aspects or his financial status. So remember, today, if you are getting hurt when people pass any kind of a comment or when they say anything that is unpleasant, today, if you are feeling hurt by their comments, it means somewhere you have already created that hurt for yourself. And that is the reason when he says something, that one word is absolutely enough for you to just go down in the dumps. So now the process of self-healing should start. Self-acceptance ka jo first step hai, okay, that is to identify to what extent you have this non-acceptance of self. So rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10. कितने हद तक है? जैसे मैंने अपने स्टोरी में शेयर किया कि I had terrible, criticism for myself. So maybe I could have rated myself as 0, that I just didn't like anything about myself. So where do you stand? Where do you stand? Because the more you are having less than 4 or 3 as a score, it means more you are already hurting yourself. And because you are hurting yourself already by criticizing yourself, the more people around you can, it becomes very easy for people to then hurt you further. If they don't just need any time, even their one look will be sufficient. As I said, because I was at the score of 0, even if they would look at me with some kind of expression, and I used to assume that, oh, look, he is, giving me that look. Or if I'm standing with my plate and then they would just look at my plate, they would not say anything, and then suddenly I would feel, oh my God, he is just checking how much I'm eating. So you start getting into crazy assumptions and crazy stories about what people might be thinking. The reality might be different. Maybe he was simply looking. Okay, he was not even thinking anything of it. But the more lower you stand on that scale of self-acceptance, the more suffering you're going to create for yourself. So first thing is, if you really want to start that journey of self-acceptance, be very dead honest. Where do you stand on the scale of 1 to 10 on acceptance of yourself? If it's less than 4, then you really need to work more on your auto-suggestions and more on yourself. Second is, to what extent you depend on others for acceptance. Many times you will see when people appreciate you for anything, you really feel very nice, you feel very accepted, and suddenly wo self acceptance सारा कुछ आ जाता है, and then you really feel very good ki ha, this is it, I'm good, I'm worthy enough. Then the same performance after a few days and nobody says anything about it, and now your self acceptance starts collapsing there. And if at all one kind of a feedback comes which is of critical nature or whatever, and then we are completely gone. So now we have to remove the dependency of our self-acceptance from others. The more you're going to depend on others and their comments, then more it's going to be a yo-yo effect that, at times you will achieve that acceptance and then suddenly the other moment you will be all gone. So we need to be completely depending on ourselves only, whether the appreciation comes or criticism comes. The third thing, as I mentioned, that understanding that why people behave the way they behave. So if you want to heal yourself, abhi jo hua so hua, whatever people have hurt you, they have hurt you. You cannot do anything about that. Only thing that you can do is heal yourself. And how do I heal myself? There are only two ways which I can think of. First thing is call all those people who had hurt you, who had said something unpleasant to you, and tell them, you know, पता है वो 10 साल पहले, 5 साल पहले, 20 साल पहले you had said this to me. You know, वो function था, that occasion was there and you said this to me. And believe me, those people are not going to even remember. They're not even going to remember. But the thing is that we remember every word by word. Kisne kya bola tha. And unfortunately, there is no expiry date for this holding on behavior. Right? वो 20 साल पुरानी चीजें भी हम लोग याद कर सकते हैं very, very easily, as if it happened just 2 minutes back. So now we need to understand that if I have to heal my wound, if I have to heal myself, then forgiving is the only option I have. So what I did was I wrote down all those people and all those incidences. If you are not wanting to write it down, fine, just recollect. Just recollect all those instances where you felt hurt, when somebody said something to you, when somebody humiliated you, or it was not a very pleasant situation for you. And just tell yourself, okay, fine, they behaved because they were in pain. Now, can I just let go? Can I just forgive that person? Fine. Many of you might feel, or rather even I felt, why should I forgive them? They have hurt me. What does it mean? They are in pain, does not give them the liberty to hurt me, na? So why should I forgive? But the basic point of forgiving is the moment you forgive, you are released from that whole thing. So forgiveness should be done for you, not for them, because anyways, they don't remember it. Anyways, they have no memory of it. Even if you're going to try and tell them, ki aise aise hua tha, you had said so and so, that was the occasion. I was sitting here, you were sitting there, because negative things hum log bahut detail mein yaad rakhte hain. So forgiving those people, releasing and let go is the only alternative to heal the wounds that have already been created. But now, henceforth, after understanding this, all we have to do is now from today and now on, anything anyone says which was unpleasant, which was not good for you, which actually hit you, just remind yourself, that it's okay. Maybe that person is pain. Because as I said, as I'm working on myself, and believe me, why I call it a journey, because it was not a one-day effect. It was not a 2 days effect. I have been doing this, practicing since years together. So you will have to have patience. It is a journey. So today, yes, I can say that I am strong enough. I accept myself the way I am. And now, because I accept myself the way I am, people will not dare to say anything. And even if they dare to say, don't worry, I don't punch them on the nose. But I simply tell, myself that it's okay. That person is in pain. Maybe kuch to problem mein hoga. Isliye, he's saying this. It's okay. Just let me forgive and let go. So now what I do is I don't allow people to create hurt in me. And yes, definitely, I take care of my own thoughts that I don't create, hurt to myself. Because as I have been always telling, that unless and until you have not created the wound, people cannot hurt you. It's like, if you have a physical wound and if somebody touches it, it's going to pain. Now, as that wound starts healing, even if somebody touches it, now it won't pain that much. So why we say journey? Because you will realize as and how we are starting to heal ourselves by forgiving, by letting go, by telling that, theek hai, all those people behave the way they behave because maybe they were in that state at that point of time. Maybe they didn't do it deliberately. That was the only way they knew how to behave. Okay, or they didn't realize what impact it is creating on others. You will see the school children, they just make fun of each other. If something happens to a particular child, the whole class laughs. Now, it's not that those children are evil. They just don't know that because of their laughing, it's creating what kind of impact on another child. I'm sure that child, when he grows up, he's going to feel bad and sad ki, we were so mean that class mein aise ho gaya tha, to hum sab puri class milke we were laughing at that child. It was so sad. So when a child is teasing another child, they really don't know what impact they're creating. So we can just forgive those childhood friends of ours who have maybe laughed at us or maybe who have teased us because they were really not knowing what they were doing to us. Right? So understanding why people behave the way they behave is one of the important aspects. Then is be nice and say nice to yourself to heal yourself. Okay, every time you stand in front of the mirror, honestly tell yourself that you're really beautiful and I love you. You have to keep saying that, because there is an experiment which was done by psychologists, and there were two plants that were kept in two different rooms. And the set of psychologists would go in one room and they would tell that plant that you are dirty, you are so bad, you are this, you're so ugly, and we just don't like you, we want you to die, we want you to die. And the same set of psychologists would go and they would water the plant. It's not that they would leave that plant like that. They would water the plant also. In the next room, they would go and they would talk all lovely things to that plant. They would sit, they would hug it, they would chat with it. And they were saying all lovely things to that plant. Ki, you're so beautiful, you're so pretty. Look at the leaves, your color is so nice. We just love you. We want you to grow healthy. And the more they were saying that, they realized that after few weeks, just in few weeks, the plant where they would go and give a lot of hatred completely dried and it died off. And the plant where they're giving lot of love, it bloomed. The plant was same. The plant was same, but still that other plant absolutely bloomed. So remember, this is what happens to us. People might come once in a while and say something and go, but we are all the time 24/7 with us. And our brain is completely listening to what we are saying to ourselves. So it's very important to say nice and be nice with yourself, because if we are not going to be nice to ourselves, the healing process is going to be very, very difficult. Because to heal yourself, we have to take effort. And that is the reason we have to work on being emotionally strong. So how do you be emotionally strong? It is completely, as I said, working on yourself, go and introspect. Working on the self-acceptance is a huge topic. You just need to go inwards. The more you will go inwards into your personality, into why you are the way you are, why did you get this? There has to be some reason, there has to be some purpose behind our being like that, our being different. Okay, because as the world of spirituality says that unless and until you're not given the pain, you don't look inwards. When things are going well with us, we're all happy and busy with the outer aspects of our life. But the moment we have certain challenges or certain problems in our life, you will see that, we immediately stop and we start looking inwards. So being emotionally strong is a journey that will, help you to look within. The more you're going to look outside, why they behave with me, why people are so rude to me, why they just don't understand, why they can't be sensitive. The more I am focused with why outside, it's only going to give me more sadness, more frustration, maybe depression, and maybe suicidal tendencies also. So introspecting on why things or why people behave is not going to help. But yes, if we can go inwards, it can definitely lead to a strong emotional health, which will help us to accept ourselves further. And always remember, self-acceptance starts with us. Okay, we only have to take that first step. Let's not depend on others to accept us and then we accepting ourselves, right? So over here, in short, I have tried to just put the few concepts that have helped me to come to the self-acceptance. The stories might be same, I'm sure some of you might be able to resonate with whatever I have shared as my story, that yes, I have gone through this, maybe not albinism, but yes, another different area where even I was targeted by the society. And how did I come to it? So if you want to ask me any questions, I would really love to answer that, because question answers give us more clarity. So yes, Priyanka, can we have some questions if somebody wants to ask?
Thank you, Urjita ma'am.
Thank you.
Guys,
Hello
if you have any
everyone.
questions, please go ahead.
Hi guys, I am Priyanka. I'm joining you all from Hyderabad. So you can just post in your questions here in the chat box, or just raise your hand or unmute yourself and you can speak if you want to ask any questions. So is there anyone who has a question?
Yeah, Priyanka, I have a question for Miss Urjita.
Yes,
This is
Please
Deepak.
go
Deepak
ahead.
from New Delhi.
Yeah, Deepak. Tell me.
Yeah, hi, ma'am. So, my question is regarding, as you have already told, that
Hmm,
you have to forgive people.
hmm,
Now,
hmm,
this can come only when a person is emotionally strong. Now,
hmm, hmm.
if the guy is already emotionally broken up and he's totally depressed, how
Hmm.
can he reach to a level of forgiveness?
Okay. So it's a very nice question, Deepak. Thank you for asking this question, because generally people feel that, forgiveness is very difficult. But believe me, if you can just trust this process, because gratitude, forgiveness, praying for others, all these things actually give us that strength. So many a times, it's like if I'm not able to walk, if somebody gives me a stick, it becomes like a sahara for me. Okay, fine, at least, I have some support system. Similarly, today, fine, I might not be emotionally strong, but when I start doing these things, jitna janta hai, jitna forgive karte hain, utna not to that level. Maybe it might not be 100% forgiveness, but at least you have started with the intention of letting go and forgiving. Now, believe me, that acts like a stick. That acts like a stick in that process of making you emotionally strong, because you will realize the moment you start forgiving somebody with whatever extent, with whatever level you can, it starts making you feel good, it starts making you feel stronger. So it's just the process that you have to start doing it and then see the effect of it. And then as and when you start becoming more stronger, forgiveness happens very easily. So today maybe you will have to bring that forgiveness. Fine, no issues, bring it from wherever you can, in whatever percentage you can, bring it, no problem. But definitely that is going to lead to a further circle of being more strong. Yeah, Deepak.
Yeah, got it, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Deepak,
Urjita,
for the
Urjita,
question. Thank you,
my
ma'am, for the
question.
answer. Yeah, Anubhav,
Yeah.
boliye.
Is anybody, Tanush is asking, let Tanush ask first, then I'll ask.
Okay, Tanush, please go ahead, unmute
Please.
and speak.
Yeah, I had a question. I wanted to ask, why do we like keep such situations in our mind, like where people don't behave the way in which we like? Like, why do we keep this in our mind in order to like in order to we are like we have to give it all up and we have to forget it. Like, why do we keep it in our mind for the first place?
See, we will keep in mind only those things which are bothering us. Okay, like I gave you that example of a person who's financially satisfied with whatever he has. He might not be a rich man, but then whatever he has, he's satisfied. Now, if somebody says something unpleasant to him about his financial status, he will not hold on that. Okay, so
Okay.
today if you're holding on anything that is that was unpleasant to you, it means you have hurt somewhere yourself with that parameters. So suppose if it's a student who is not doing well in academics and he's sensitive about it, or maybe he's been already beating himself that I don't do well in academics, I don't do well in academics, I just cannot do it. Now if somebody is going to come and pass a comment on his academics, now he's going to hold on that statement. Okay, so Tanush, the answer to your question is whatever aspects you are beating yourself are the aspects that you will hold on. The aspects which you are comfortable with, koi kuch bhi bol de, you just let go and forget it. It will not even remain with you. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anubhav, your question, please.
Yes, Urjita ji, my
Ha,
question to uh,
ha.
how thin is the line between being emotionally strong
Hmm.
and being insensitive?
Okay, emotionally strong
and being insensitive.
okay. So now, emotionally strong means absolutely comfortable with yourself, and complete self-acceptance is, that comes to you when you're emotionally strong. Insensitive is altogether actually a very different terminology. So maybe, when a person does not get affected. So today, suppose if I have reached a state where nothing affects me because I have become, easy or, comfortable in whatever I am. Now, if anybody will come and say, I might not react. So maybe some people will say, oh, she's so insensitive, pata nahi isko kya ho gaya hai. Okay, so insensitive is the word, because when somebody gives us pain, they want you to get affected by it. So suppose if I am angry and I shout at you, and if you are just silent and you just don't react, now I'm going to feel, arey, such an insensitive person, itna main isko डांट रही हूं तब भी इसको कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है. So insensitive is a terminology that is generally given to either those who are completely in acceptance of themselves and nothing triggers them, or it can be, in terms of the criminals, you can say that nothing moves them. Those are also actually very emotionally strong people. Huh? So only the two extremes of, being too good or, too bad can become emotional, can become insensitive actually.
Right. So those are good
Yeah.
insights, ma'am. So my other question
Yeah,
to you
thank
will
you.
be, what is the role of a psychologist in helping oneself to accept oneself?
Role of a psychologist in helping, see, more than psychology, spirituality also helps. The whole psychology and spirituality, are sort of, hand in hand techniques, where actually they will give you a lot of tips and techniques like meditations hai, self introspection hai. So the more you start looking inwards, the more you start realizing the different layers of yourself, and those layers where we have got hurt, which were affected. And once we start dealing with those layers, it becomes very easy for us to become a very strong, mentally strong, emotionally strong, and a happy and a satisfied person. So yes, definitely psychologists can play a very good role. And if you combine it with spirituality, it does wonders. Now, many a times people feel spirituality is something to be done by old people, because you require time to sit and meditate. वो एक corner में बैठ के meditation करने से क्या होता है? लेकिन एक corner पे बैठ के meditation करने से miracles होते हैं. And the more we are young, the more we are, in the whole world where we have to go out, we have to face people, we are in jobs, we meet different set of people, the more it's required to do meditation, because that actually gives us a lot of mental strength, right? So definitely psychology does help. It does help.
Right. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Anubhav. Ma'am, there is a question from Vikram, and this is everybody's concern with albinism. So when we go into the market, so we have people staring at us, looking at us. So how do you handle such kind of situations? Wherein
Okay.
you're always looked upon, and when you like walk through the market, people look at you. So how do you handle such situations?
Okay, so now as I see it is, still you are beating yourself with negative statements, it is going to bother you. But if you have now stopped saying negative things to yourself, you're going to feel more proud. Just walk as if you're the most handsome or you're the most beautiful person, and that is why they are looking at you, because that is how it has to be. If you are like this, there is nothing wrong in being like this. Okay, so there's no need to be ashamed of. It's absolutely nothing to be shameful of. So if you are, giving yourself a lot of positive suggestions, the more you're working on yourself, you'll realize you become so comfortable that it does not even matter to you. It simply wouldn't matter to you, even if people are looking at you, or even, if they are talking to you. As I told you, once you accept yourself, people are going to accept you. This is a pure logic. It's a science. And you will experience that only when you start doing it. So the moment you're going to the market, just tell yourself all the positive things. Be absolutely confident. Don't try to show any kind of, nervousness in your body language. The moment you don't show that nervousness, people cannot make you nervous. people cannot affect you in any way unless and until you don't allow them. If you don't give them permission, they can do nothing to you. Believe me, it's something which even I have tried it, and I have realized it that yes, it works. But the moment you're going to become nervous, you're going to have that low self-esteem, then the whole world is going to be over you, and then you cannot just escape from that particular situation. So just love yourself. Tell yourself that, oh, maybe they're looking at me because I'm very beautiful or I'm very handsome, and good. Let them look. Let them enjoy. That's it. Because there's nothing wrong in being what you are. Absolutely nothing wrong. Yes, Priyanka?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Vikram. Hope this answers your question. Anubhav, any other question?
Ma'am, I have one more question. Actually, I have a lot of questions,
Yes.
so we can do a 1 hour session with me also.
Tanush, I think, has
Yeah.
got a question as well.
So,
Okay.
my question is like, I mean, you just mentioned that, you know, give yourself a lot of positive affirmations and all that. But often people also quote that I have put on a mask in front of other people, right? Which is like I have put on a happy face and all that, you know, smiley face and all that. But that's not me. So how do you see
Okay,
the
that's what.
difference from?
Yeah, so see, the thing is that if you start working inside, it will not look like a mask. Because ये mask है या ये reality है, people will come to know within few seconds.
Right.
Okay, so if they are saying that it's a mask, it means somewhere outward. So it's like inside I'm feeling very nervous and upset that people are looking at me, but outside I'm trying to, look confident. So वो difference पता चल जाता है. You cannot fool people for a long period of time. So then they will realize कि okay, it's a mask. And so इसीलिए start with the inward journey first. Start with,
Right.
being emotionally strong, that inward journey. For no more, it will look like a mask.
Thank you, ma'am. Right.
Yes,
And
thank you.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Anubhav. Tanush, you can unmute and ask your question.
Yes, I had a question regarding some like sun problems. So like once I had been told like you have sun problems because you think that you have them. If you will go continuously into the sun, you will get used to it. How true is that sentence?
See, with regard to albinism and exposure to sun, I am not sure medically. I guess, your doctor would be the right person to tell you that how you should be behaving with the sun. But yes, this logic holds true for the other things, that if you're going to believe. So it's like, abhi COVID situation hai yahan par, and I am physically very fit. But still, if I live in fear कि अरे मेरे को ना हो जाए, मेरे बिल्डिंग में हो गया है, my building is being sealed, अब मेरे को ना हो जाए, so then yes, the possibilities of my catching COVID will raise to 60 to 70%. Maybe if I would not have thought about it, I might not even catch the infection. So yes, for other aspects, I will say it is very true that if you're going to think this is going to happen to me, तो वो happen हो सकता है, whether it's positive or negative. But as I said, for you with regard to the sun exposure, I guess your doctor would be the right person.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tanush. Thank you, ma'am. We have Nisha. Nisha, you can unmute and just ask your question.
Hi, this is Nisha from Melbourne, Australia. So I'm originally from India, and this question was very not question. The overall the topic of today's seminar, it was very, very touching to all of us, I think. So I have a very good habit of forgiving people, but I feel like then people start taking that as granted, like. For example, if someone ignore me, and many people ignore me, like it may not be just related to albinism, but things in general. And if I start, like if I forgive them for myself, but then they start taking as granted, कि हाँ इसको तो कुछ भी बोलोगे, she will not care, और इसे तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. So how should we deal with such situations?
Okay, very nice question, Nisha. Good. Thank you so much for this question. See, when we say that I have to forgive people, does not mean that, we have to be so submissive that now even if people walk over me, I have to keep forgiving. No, it's not like that. You can always be assertive. Okay, so forgiving ek jagah par hai. It's altogether a different concept. But if somebody is misbehaving with me, I can always be assertive with them. Ki, please don't do this to me, or please don't talk in this tone with me. I don't like it. Or suppose if it's your family member, it's your relative, or it's your friends, who are doing it. There is nothing wrong in going, sitting and talking to that person face to face and telling them that, please, when you do such kind of a thing, I really don't appreciate it. Okay. So it's absolutely okay to be assertive. It's absolutely okay to go and express with that person if you feel that their behavior is hurting you. And forgiving is altogether a different thing. So it does not mean that you should never open up and should allow people to misbehave with you. No, bilkul bhi nahi. So be assertive. Yeah. Thanks, Nisha.
Hi, Urjita ma'am. This is Deepak again. So I'm
Yes,
a parent
hi,
of a
Deepak.
child. Hi, I'm a parent of a child with albinism. So I want to know more about that. How can I groom my child so he becomes more independent and he's not bullied at school or the places he's visiting? So what type of parenting should be embedded in me so that he has a good childhood and he's able to tackle the situations on his own?
Okay, so Deepak, first thing is I would like to say that, he will not be bullied or he will not be teased is something that as a parent, you will have to tell yourself that this is going to happen. It happens with everybody. It's not only the problem with the albinos, but it happens with everybody. A little bit different child and the whole school and college people are there sitting to tease. So nobody can escape this bullyism and nobody can escape this, being humiliated or whatever. So all you can do as a parent is keep giving him all the positive suggestions. Like I gave that example of 2 plants being kept in 2 different rooms and what was told to them. Right? So every time you have to tell him, ki, yes, maybe you have this issue, but there's nothing wrong in it. You don't need to be shameful of it. You don't need to feel low about it. You don't need to feel victimized about it. You are a very strong person and you are a wonderful person. You have this quality. So giving him lot of positive suggestions, appreciating him, every time he falls down, tell him it's okay. So suppose if he comes from school and he's crying that, some people made fun of him or whatever, somebody said something unpleasant. So don't tell him that those people are bad. Just tell him ki, yes, this is going to be the part of your life. Learn to deal with it. And just you can explain him this concept ki, see, they maybe don't know what they're doing or maybe they are in pain. So just let it go, forgive. If a child is going to learn to let go things from this particular small age, it becomes very easy. They will not have those baggages of hurt and bitterness and humiliations. So all you have to make him more and more emotionally strong person by constantly telling him ki, okay, fine, you might have certain limitations, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong. Okay, that does not make you less than somebody else. So as a parent, if you can give him that strength and give him that, confidence ki whatever happens outside, I know you are strong enough to deal with it. Okay. So I guess that is what you can start doing it, depending on what is the age of your child. Yeah.
Sure, Jitati. Very helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deepak. Thank you, ma'am, for the answer. Anybody else who wants to ask anything? Meanwhile, ma'am, I have a question. So in your
Yes.
talk, you mentioned about expectations from family, expectations from friends. So somewhere or the other, I have a habit of, expecting. So if I feel, okay, this is the behavior I am expecting from my sister, this is something which I'm expecting from my brother, this is how they are supposed to be with me, or this is how they're supposed to help me in a particular situation. When I do not get that from them, somewhere or the other I get a little disappointed. So how do I kind of build my emotional intelligence in such a way, so that I can handle this kind of not expect from people is what I have to do, or it's okay to expect is what I wanted to ask.
See, this having expectations and not talking about those expectations with another person can create hell of problems in relationships. You know, there are so many people coming in for counseling, the married couples, after 15, 20 years of marriage, now they have started having problems because expectations to bahut hai ek dusre se, but they don't want to say to each other. They're expecting ki he should understand it. Now 15 years hai marriage case, still he does not know it means what. So now what happens is ki having an expectation and not being vocal about it is going to create a problem. So if you have certain expectations from your sister or your brother or your family members or your friends, my suggestion would be, you have wonderful voice, you have language, please go and talk to them and, you know, make it very clear to them about what is your expectation. That will reduce the complications in our life. Fine. With regard to outsiders, maybe you might not be in the position to go and tell them. Then ऐसे वक्त पे just simply, you know, dropping of the expectation is the only way to it. But yes, if it's your family, if your friends, then definitely I would say, rather than only expecting it, go and be vocal about it and tell them exactly what is it that you expect out of them. Yes, Priyanka?
Perfect, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, any other question?
Yeah, I have a question, ma'am. What comes next after self-acceptance? Accepting by others?
Accepting by others should not be the criteria anytime, because, you know, that's going to change. So today after this session, you might say, Arey, madam, it was a wonderful session. Then tomorrow we will do a session, then you might not say anything. Third time we would do a session, then you would say, ki, madam, ye thoda sa galat ho gaya, maybe you should have. Now what will happen is, if I'm depending on somebody else to define my work or whatever, or my happiness, now it's going to depend on your moods, right? And your mood is just not in my control zone. So that is the reason acceptance of others should just not matter to us. See, you will see there are people who criticize you. As we have understood, yes, maybe they are in pain, so they are giving you pain. Similarly, those people who appreciate you, they have this quality. So it's about them every time, you know, ki they have that quality of appreciation, and that is why they will appreciate. So we have to come to a state where we are not depending on others for, you know, their acceptance, because then it is something which is not in our control zone. So at times when they will accept you, you will be at the top of the world. When they do not, you know, say something good to you or do not accept or whatever you're doing, you might be down in the dumps. So all the work that you're doing will just go in the drain. So yes, थोड़े हद तक dependent है तो बात अलग है. But if again, you know, you have to rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10, which is the level that you are actually depending on others. But let us move to that state where we just don't depend. बाकी कोई बोले नहीं बोले, I did a good performance, fine. Little bit areas of improvement I see in myself, fine, I will do that. But let us not define our state of mind based on the other person's behavior.
Right. My last question would be, if I mean this is the feedback I get from a lot of people we work with, that in social gatherings or in family functions or in school setups, because of the vision issue, they feel less involved. So how do you deal with that?
So for that, again, I would say that, you know, every time you will have to take that initiative. If you want to get involved in a particular group, and if they are not taking any initiative, then you will have to take that initiative. So maybe you can just find one sensitive person according to you, a person with whom you have a good rapport, and you can talk to them and tell them, even I want to be the part of this activity. So can you please help me? Okay, so you will have to take initiatives of how you can join that particular activity, right?
And that has to be a continuous process throughout your...
Yes, yeah. Because again, if you're going to expect that people will understand that I'm left out, or if you expect that, अरे उनको कैसे नहीं दिख रहा है, मैं कोने में बैठा हूँ, or if you expect that, you know, at least my friend should have understood, at least my cousin should have understood this. So now this expectation sitting in one corner is just going to make me feel bitter and angry and nothing else. So instead of, you know, now going ahead with this complicated process of feeling bitter, hurt, angry, why not take a positive step of every time go talk to some concerned person, responsible person, someone who is good to you, and tell them you want to be the part of this group or whatever activity.
मैम बस आपसे लास्ट रिक्वेस्ट है कि थोड़ा सा हिंदी में सम अप कर दीजिए एक बार आप सेशन को.
Okay. Okay, so in the end, self acceptance के बारे में मैं बस इतना ही कहना चाहूंगी कि ये जो खुद को स्वीकारना है या फिर loving yourself, ये बहुत बहुत ज्यादा needed है. Because अगर आप ये नहीं करोगे तो you will realize कि आपके life में suffering के अलावा कुछ नहीं होगा. हमारा brain ऐसा है या हमारा mind ऐसा है कि जो stories बनाने में बहुत expert होता है कि अगर किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया फिर किसी ने मेरी तरफ ध्यान नहीं दिया तो फटाफट माय माइंड इज गोइंग टू से देखो उनको तो मेरी पड़ी नहीं है, हमेशा ऐसे ही करते हैं, इतने साल हो गए हैं तब भी उनको नहीं समझ में आता है. तो हमारा जो माइंड है वो बहुत चीजों को कॉम्प्लिकेट करता है. तो इसलिए अभी हमको क्या करना है कि हमारे माइंड को थोड़ा सा ट्रेनिंग देना है ऑफ थिंकिंग करेक्ट. बिकॉज अनटिल एंड अनलेस मैं थिंकिंग मेरा करेक्ट नहीं कर सकूंगी तब तक सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस मेरे में कंप्लीटली नहीं आएगा. सो इट्स अ जर्नी, इट्स अ लॉन्ग प्रोसेस, बट यस, start taking those small steps which I have given you today. इसके अलावा भी काफी सारे steps हैं, but you can start with whatever you know, and definitely you will be at that stage where you completely start loving yourself, right? And you will actually shine, as this logo goes, made to shine. Thank you very much to each and every one of you who has been listening patiently. I hope I have answered all your questions. And if you need any further guidance, you can please feel free to call me or mail me, whichever way suits you. Thank you so much to everybody.
Thank
Priyanka,
you so much.
would like to add something?
I would just like to thank ma'am, and rest the vote of thanks will be done by Anubhav, sure. So I have posted ma'am's email ID and number. You can reach out to her on a personal level if you need any kind of help. She's always available. So over to you, Anubhav.
Yes. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you for this wonderful question answer session, and I would like to thank ma'am Urjita ji for this wonderful 1 hour session. मैंने तो बहुत enjoy किया, सबने I hope enjoy किया हो और बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला. और जैसा कि मैंने बोला कि मैं तो आपसे 1-on-1 सेशन लूंगा ही आपसे जल्दी ही.
Sure.
और इसी बात पे
Sorry? कोई भी अगर सेशन चाहता है तभी they are all welcome.
जी बिल्कुल.
Brilliant.
Ishita, can we have the next slide?
Yeah, I think Urjita.
Yeah.
Next slide, please. Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. 1 second. Yeah. This one?
Yep.
So our next Saturday, we are doing this webinar on vision and skin care with Dr. Sunita Gur, Dr. Rajiv Prasad, and Dr. Vibha Nigale. So same time, 13th June, that is your day, World Albinism Awareness Day. And I hope everybody joins us. That's going to be a slightly longer session, but wonderful session. Hopefully you can prepare your questions in advance. और आप सब लोग जुड़िए हमारे साथ. तो हम लोग अगले सैटरडे को फिर से मिलेंगे आपसे. Next.
Yeah.
And your feedback, you can reach out all your feedback, good, bad, ugly, to me. My email is aries_anubhav@hotmail.com. My phone number is 9818077131. You can post about this webinar on your website, on your Instagram accounts, on your Facebook accounts with the hashtag #MadeToShine. तो देखते हैं आपको सब लोग को Facebook पे सबसे जुड़ते हैं हम लोग. And Ishita ji, can we have the next slide?
I just want to say thank you. We are done with today's webinar, and everybody, thank you so much for coming in and participating with today's session. Please do share your feedback because feedback बहुत important है. ये हमारा सबसे पहला webinar है of this series. So any ideas, any suggestions for further webinars would be quite helpful. So do go ahead and send your ideas and comments to Anubhav through whatever medium. And we look forward to seeing you all next week.
Yes, and lastly, I would like to give a vote of thanks to my team, Ms. Ishita Unadkar from London. She has worked tirelessly for the past 1 week, sending me mails and cross mails and checking everything with me. And Priyanka Heda, of course, for bringing Ms. Urjita on board for us. And all of you people, without you, there is no webinar. So all the 23 participants, 24 participants which we had today, lovely, and we hope to see this number goes up further. So thank you so much, everybody, and see you and good evening. Hope you enjoy your rest of the day. Take care.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Both are,
everyone.
both are.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Bye-bye, team.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
We can open the mic for everybody else if you want for some time. We can open the mic for remaining people. We can talk amongst us for some time.
Yes, guys, anybody wants to chat, please unmute yourselves. Please
Just
go
unmute
ahead.
everybody.
Yeah. They've all got their own options.
Suraj and Vasudev reh gaye hain. Can you unmute them, Ishita?
They will need to unmute themselves. I've asked them to unmute. How's everybody? How did you think of today's session?
It was really good.
Hi, Nisha.
Amazing session.
It was, it was really good, and like basically I was very inspired with the topic, so it was very good.
Great. I'm glad.
Thank you, Nisha.
Thank you for organizing this. And this is actually very important, like the self-acceptance, and हम कितना भी strong हो जाएं, ये matter करता है in the end. Like
Right,
बहुत hard
right,
होता है.
right.
So I must say, like,
right.
when I was in India, I had these issues. I have more of these issues, लोग कैसे देखते हैं, क्या करते हैं, When I grew up, when तो अभी ये चीज काफी normal हो